Joe Potter, Vintage Underground. Here is the latest episode. Today we're tackling on the Jaguar XJ Coupe. This is a custom build, 6-liter V12 Magnum T56 6-speed transmission, and a whole lot of modifications to the body. So that's what we're hitting today. The engine and trans went in well. I didn't expect a lot of interference on the transmission because there's a lot of tunnel. I didn't expect a lot of issues with the engine because these cars actually did have V12s, the 5.4 liter, and it's essentially the same size block. So I didn't expect a lot of issues. I expected some issues with the headers and had amazingly few. We had one issue I'll show you right down in this corner, which is the right-hand side or passenger side, and it hit in that corner. Just the last tube out of the cylinder hit. That also had a bunch of right-hand drive components on it, or openings, just like this side does for the left-hand drive. This is a left-hand drive car, so in the process just eliminated all those openings and smoothed it so we don't have the right-hand drive openings. That took care of that. So actually pretty amazed at the limited amount of effort we had to do to clear the headers. It was really fantastic. And one thing about these cars is they got a ton of room in the engine compartment, and the opening in the front makes it so easy. Compared to a lot of cars, these are engine compartments pretty cool. We did run into an issue, I think it was on last time as well, where the tunnel interfered with the end of the transmission. This transmission is longer, and the tail housing ended up right here on this waistline here, and it's got to come up into the tunnel. We've got to raise up about an inch, inch and a quarter, I think, higher. So we'll refabricate this whole tunnel area. But that then opened up this situation where you can see I've already removed here, and over there is the platform for the seats. Now, we're not using the Jaguar seats, so we've got to fabricate that all new anyway, so there's no reason to recreate this whole section of the tunnel and then have to dig it out again to redo these seat platforms. So that now has been folded in to this part of the fabrication, making it a whole lot more complicated. These things are hard to get out. There's a bunch of spot welds, and they're hard to get out without doing damage to the metal, so you have to kind of take your time. So, what was a pretty, not simple, but I mean a straightforward effort to reshape the tunnel has expanded. And also, there was some rust down in that inner rocker that hadn't taken care of. It was pretty minor, but it was, anyway, had to be addressed. So anyway, in the process, as you can see, it's in the same area as these seat mounts. And again, if we're going to be remaking the seat mounts, there's no reason not to jump in and fix that wall first. So as these things do, they expand and gain momentum as you go down the slippery slope. Anyway, that's going pretty well. That's what we're going to hit. And also, Tim's been making progress on the rear here, working on what is the left-hand or driver's side in our case. Here, the right side, which I think I've showed before, is tight. We're already around the corner. Tim's working on the valence across the back. And now he's mirroring that, coming back around this way. And he's also correcting, putting these flares on. We ended up with kind of a weird kink at that section, which he is going to correct as well. So these Jaguars, the exhaust exits through the valence, and I like that look, and I'm working on what those look like. But before we make these panels permanent, we've got to come up with that plan of how the exhaust is going to exit. There's some areas back up in there on the Jaguars where the exhaust muffler or resonator would sit, tucked up in there nice and tight, so that where they're going to exit is fixed. And so I'm more concerned about how it exits the valence and what that looks like. We'll make it nice and sanitary looking and clean. So those are the two things we're working this week, and we'll jump this metal pretty hard. This is going to be, it's going to be a bit of effort. We'll see if we get through it this week. That's what we're doing. Let's get to it.